Christ College Canterbury Amendment Bill brought to this House by my wonderful colleague Nikki Wagner. Look, this bill is, people have spoken lots about the various issues around this bill, and I think one of the things we should think about is that this school has a very long and proud history. I was not a student of Christ College, but there's been some wonderful members of this House, including Sir Arthur Guinness, a former Speaker of this House back in the early 1900s, and of course Dr. Michael Cullen. The other sort of key person I remember vividly who went to Christ College was one Robbie Deans and his brother from Christchurch. But look, my experience with Christ College, I actually visited one of these bits of land. They actually have bits of land all over the place in Canterbury that many run holders and farm holders have given to the school in many ways. They own some ski land at a ski lodge in various forms. They own bits of land all around the city, around Christchurch. And I think one of the things is that the laughing hysterics from the people across the House are just hilarious, I find, Mr. Speaker. But look, I think one of the interesting things is this bill is very similar to what we had in the Methodist Church Trust Bill and other bills that have been before this House previously about tidying up. The Maori Trustees Bill was another example. We have little bits of assets that have been owned by multiple owners or with complicated trustee arrangements which need to be tidied up, and this bill allows that to happen. Mr. Speaker, I mean, the Christ College Board, I know they would have an option to resolve this via amendments through the High Court, and we heard from Mr. Mallard earlier tonight saying, why would they just go ahead and do that? Well, that costs about $50,000 per action that they would take through to the High Court to get these trusts or various bits of properties to be changed. And that would actually eat up the capital and the assets that exist in these small bits of assets across the board very quickly. And I think, Mr. Speaker, despite the best aims and wishes of the original donees, I believe that this bill will not harm the initial intent, that the sums of money that we're talking about and the amounts they bequeath would actually still go to a good cause in terms of the students of that fine institution. As I sort of say, I mean, I unlike Mr. Boscawen, I actually went to a school called Shirley Boys, and I was the first member ever of my school to be elected to this fine house that we have, and I'm very proud to be the first ever member of my school to be before this house. And I have many proud memories of encountering Christ College students while my time at school. And I think, sorry, Mr. Hurwitz. Oh, exactly. But look, I think, Mr. Speaker, the interesting thing about this bill is there has been some aspects of concerns raised by the opposition. I know most of them actually do support it, and that those can be resolved very easily, I believe, in select committee. We had a similar issue in the Methodist Church Amendment Bill where we had a number of concerns and issues at the first reading. Those were resolved through the select committee process, and my colleague from Selwyn, the very capable Amy Adams, did a very good job in that particular bill at amending some of the particular clauses of that bill to make it work in a much better and sensible fashion. And I have utmost confidence in the Government Administration Select Committee to be able to do that, chaired of course by David Parker. And I think that there will be a lot of work done on this bill. It's a very simple bill in terms of actually what exists, and the members opposite have actually pointed out some particular problems and issues. This bill is simply about the transfer of property. It's not about some treatise we've heard about the issues around national standards, and it's nothing to do with that. This school is a very fine school and a very fine institution, and this allows them to do what they really want to do in terms of the assets that they have, Mr. Speaker. Look, I believe that the concerns that might have been raised, I think, are easily resolved. I'm sure Dr. Cullen is a former pupil of the school. He may have actually been a beneficiary of one of these scholarships that existed. He may have been a former student of a Second World War veteran. I don't know. I know he did receive a scholarship to Christ College, and he made a very fine point about that when he left this house in his farewell valedictory speech, Mr. Speaker. He actually received a scholarship from the school. The funds that exist here, some of them are actually used for scholarship recipients of former World War II and World War I and Boer War students and children. Now, Mr. Speaker, I just want to again reiterate the fact, the importance of this bill to the school, and the importance of and the wonderful work that the member Nikki Wagner has done from Christchurch to bring this bill to the House, and I look forward to it progressing through the House.